Hello, Ivy Tech gang. My name is Noel, and I am one of the educational technologists here at the Fort Wayne campus. And in this video, we're going to cover the process of exporting and importing a Canvas course. This is a great method if you're wanting to copy course content from one semester to the next, or wanting to utilize course content or resources from another course. Rather than copying and pasting every page and module in your course, or starting from scratch every semester, this is typically the way that it's done. So the first process I'll go over is exporting a Canvas course. So this is the process of converting a course into a transferable file that you will then import into another course. So the first thing you want to do is go to the course that you actually want to export. So for this example, I will go to our Fort Wayne standardized template demo. And in order to create an export of the course, you want to go down into settings at the bottom of the course navigation menu. And on the right side, you will see a button that says Export Course Content. So click on that. And this is the course export page. So just to kind of break it down a little bit more, you will see different export versions of the course that have happened. So there is one from July 29th. But creating a new export is pretty easy. It's as simple as just creating an export. And so the export process will start. Now the amount of time that you'll have to wait will vary depending on the size and complexity of the class, as well as your internet speed as well too. So sometimes it could take anywhere from 15-30 seconds. It could take several minutes, 10 to 15. It all depends. All right, so fast forward a little bit and the course content has been exported, and you will usually receive a notification within your inbox on when an export is completed. And this is just my own best practice, but what I typically do is I will refresh this page just to show, instead of new export, it will show me the latest export at the very top. So this is from a minute ago. And so now in order to actually download the export file of the course, all you have to do is just click on it. And you should see within your browser a download beginning for an IMSCC file of that course. And you can also confirm it too in your download folder too. You can see a new IMSCC file. Something else to keep in mind with exports too is you always want to make sure that you're not only utilizing the latest course that you're wanting to use, or the most recent and up-to-date course, but you can only really utilize courses that you are either a teacher or a developer or organizer for, or dev org. You have dev org permissions in it. So for this course, for example, I happen to be a dev org and a teacher for it. But for courses that you don't have those permissions in, you will have to get permission from the person or the creator of that course. And then they will either send you a file, an IMSCC file of that course, or you'll have to work with EdTech, and then we can help with the exporting process as well. Now that we have the export file of the course, we can begin the process of importing it, or at least one of the various ways of importing into a course. So what you want to do now is you want to go into the course that you want to import into. And there's a couple ways to do this too. You can either go to the home page and it should have import existing content button right there. Or if you go to the settings, it'll be the same place as the export button. So just press on the import course content page button. And once you're here, this page will show you the various methods of importing content into the course, as well as other instances of importing into the course. So for example, when I first created the sandbox shell, you can see that this was created here. Let's go ahead and begin the actual process of importing. So one method you can do is you just select content type, and we'll utilize the IMSCC file that we just created. So click on Canvas Course Export Package. And from here, you can either drag in a file or choose to browse a file. So click on that, and you should see that at the top of your download. So it will usually give the name of the course that you wanted to download, or that you've already downloaded. So click on that, press open, and you can confirm that it's the correct file. When you see this down here, it'll give the file name. And from here, you can either choose all content. So, it's everything from every module, page, assignment, discussion, every element that is within that course that you exported, it will import into this course. Keep in mind though that importing all content is a method that you can utilize. You just have to make sure that if you're importing, it is either into a brand new shell or an empty course, because this is likely to overwrite certain settings, modules, and pages. So bear that in mind whenever you're importing all content. You can also select specific content as well, and you just add that to the import queue. So once it's done uploading the file, it will show the running status of that of the importing process. So once that is done, all you have to do is press select content, and then it will give you options in terms of what elements you want to choose, or if you want only specific modules, you can select or deselect whatever you want from this. And that is one way of importing into the content. So once you're done, so let's say I just want to do course settings or something like that. So once we know what we want to import into the course, all you have to do is just to select content, and then we'll see that kind of running its course. Sometimes you'll either see completed or partially completed. And whenever you see partially completed, that usually just means that there's an issue in place. And if you just click on the view issues, it'll show you what's missing. But that won't stop the importing process, thankfully. It just means that it's something that you need to check out and make sure that it's addressed. One major caveat that I want to mention too is that you'll notice that there is no undo button in this anywhere. So I've learned this the hard way myself. If you've accidentally imported the wrong material into your course content, unfortunately there's no way to undo that. The only way that you can really do that is if you go back into your settings and you just have to either go through each module and page that you don't want and delete them, or you can also choose to reset the course content as well. It happens from time to time, but just be aware that this is a very tedious process for a reason. Because if you mess it up or you import the wrong material, then there's not really any way to undo that. The final methodology that I want to show off is utilizing the commons and course packages. There are certain courses that can be copied from the commons. In the Canvas global navigation menu, go to the commons, and you want to search for the course that you wish to copy. So for this example, I'll use SVAD 170 just because it's already here. And you will see online content packages that you'll want to download here. And when you open the page itself, it will show you a kind of brief overview of the course. So it'll show you modules, assignments, all the elements that you would need to look at for the course. It's there. So, and if you need to look at further specific details of the course, you can. Now, the way that you would copy this over into a course is you would go ahead and click on the import and download button, and you can import it into a course. So this is a list of courses that I'm either a dev org or teacher in. So if I want to say put it into the Canvas coding, I would just click on that, scroll down, and then import into course. Or if you have unpublished courses or the courses aren't showing up on this list, you can also download the Commons course as an IMSCC file and import it the same way that we did earlier. If you ever need help with anything, guidance or insight into the exporting or importing process in Canvas, never hesitate contacting your local EdTech team, and we're always happy to help. For Fort Wayne folks, our number is 260-480-2090, and our email is fortwayne-edtech@ivytech.edu. So hopefully this video helps, but if you have any other questions or something isn't quite clear in this video, please just let us know. We're always happy to help. We know the process pretty well. But yeah, that's all I have for today, so thanks for watching.